high school football. The hits, the scores, the fans. Complete coverage of the high school games that matter. This is Friday Night Blitz from Wfxr Sports.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. It is Friday Night Blitz time. I hope your day was wonderful and blessed. Before we start, I'd like to dedicate this edition of Friday Night Blitz to an awesome man, former William Fleming football, wrestling, and track coach George Keller-Miller. He passed away earlier this week. Now, as Fleming's head football coach, he led the Colonels to that Division V state title game in 1997. He was awesome and a blessing to so many people. Our thoughts and prayers, again, we go out to his family, his friends, his loved ones, and everyone in the William Fleming community. He would definitely love football right now, and it is regional semifinal action in VHSL high school football playoffs. So it's time to get the party started with our game of the week.
And now, the Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week, sponsored by McAdoo's.
Our Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week comes from Galax with a top seed, the Maroon Tide. They're hosting the 4th seed George Wythe Maroons in the Region 1C semifinals. Galax has been ruling this series as of late, winning the last 9 matchups, and they are 5-0 all time in playoff matchups against the Maroons. Let's go down to Galax Maroon Tide, looking for that 6-0 action against this team in the playoffs. The Maroons are trying to end that 9-game losing streak. First score, and how about his correless there? And Ian Ashworth's going to get hooking up with a wide open Josiah White, who scores it in. The Maroon Tide down to the 10-yard line. That sets up this play a few plays later. How about Ian Ashworth? Call your own number, young fella. You got one. That's a touchdown. Galax takes a 7-0 lead. Later in the first, the Maroon Tide with the ball. And they're going to hand it off to Javante Reeves. And look at Javante Reeves. He's in the clear. Look at him, 61 yards all the way to the house, also known as the Hizzy. And the top seed in Region 1C takes a 14-0 lead over George Wythe. But don't count out the Maroons because they are a tough team. Luke Jolie, he's going to scramble around, throw a pass to his twin brother, Ben Jolie. He escapes the hands of the Galax defenders, making cuts, making moves down to around the 15-yard line, and that would set up a George Wythe field goal. Galax heads in the locker room with a 14-3 lead. Galax beats George Wythe tonight 35-17. David de Guzman picks up our coverage from Galax.
Well, Galax head coach Shane Allen knew that he'd be facing a much improved, more mature George Wythe team from their first meeting back in October earlier this season. The Maroon Tide only had a 14-3 lead at the break, and they responded with 3 unanswered touchdowns en route to a 35-17 win over their rival, advancing to the Region 1C championship game.
And I knew it was going to be a tight ball game. I told our kids all week it was going to be a really, really tough ball game, and it was going to be a 4-quarter war. And and they came out with some things that put us in a couple binds defensively that we had to adjust to. And I thought our kids fought through it. We just got to come back and be ready for this weekend.
How special of a player is number 9, Ian?
I knew this kid was going to be good, man. He was in all the meetings with Cole from a freshman up through this year, and I knew when he got his opportunity, he make plays. And he's dynamic in the run game, and he does a great job. Offense, he has great control of our offense, and he makes us tough to defend, and we just got to keep pounding it away.
I know the dream is to play in December, but it was exceptionally cold tonight for both teams. Did that maybe play a factor at all tonight?
I don't think so. Absolutely not. That's what I tell our kids all the time. If you want to play in state championships, play in December. So, I told our kids you can't focus on the weather. They're in it just as much as we are. Can't focus on anything else but your job and do your job to the best of your ability, and that's what we tell them.
Coach Allen also saying that it doesn't get any easier facing his best friend and George Wythe head coach Brandon Harner, but now Galax extending its winning streak over its rival George Wythe to 10 straight games, and the Maroon Tide also now getting the privilege that not many schools get to have, practicing and playing on Thanksgiving week. Local in Galax for Friday Night Blitz, David de Guzman, Wfxr Sports.
Thank you so much, David. In the other Region C semifinals, 2nd-seeded Giles hosting 3rd-seeded Perry McClure. 1985, the last time these two teams hooked up. The Fighting Blues on an 8-game winning streak. Gabe Fleeman looking for a man, but he's going to get some. Haterade intercepted. Jalen Mitchell making cuts. The Fighting Blues giving the Giles Spartans the blues with the cuts and the moves right down there. Then the next play about Perry McClure, John Snyder is going to take the rock, and he goes in for the touchdown. 8-0. Perry McClure after the 34-yard TD run. In the second quarter, though, Giles, they're in the red zone in the same area code, and it's going to be Fleeman. He's going to keep it himself, take it in for the touchdown. They cut the lead to 8-6, and Perry McClure, they get the upset over Giles, 14-6. So it'll be Perry McClure visiting Galax for the regional title next week. Meanwhile, in the Region 5D semifinals, the Patrick Henry Patriots visiting Mountain View, and PH, they would fall to Mountain View. So a great season by the Patriots comes to an end. Mountain View winning over PH 42-12. Meanwhile, in the VIS AA Division II finals, North Cross dropping one to Atlantic Shores Christian. So North Cross, great season comes to an end. North Cross losing that one to Atlantic Shores Christian 36-26. We have more Friday Night Blitz on the way. Highlights from Region 2C and Region 4D semifinals. More Friday Night Blitz is coming up on the other side.
Now, back to Friday Night Blitz, a Wfxr sports production.
And welcome back, everybody, to Friday Night Blitz. We're going to take a look at Region 2C in the semifinals. Our first game on the docket, the 3 seed in the Radford Bobcats. They're visiting the defending champs in the 2 seed, the Appomattox Raiders. Now, Radford gave Appomattox their last loss in the playoffs back in 2018. Let's go out to Bragg Stadium. This game was tied at 14 in the second quarter, but the Raiders would change that. Trey Long keeps it himself, gets it into the house. Appomattox goes up 21-14, but Radford trying to get something going. Landon Clark, the quarterback's going to pitch it over to Marcel Baylor. Baylor's going to go to the air. Problem, he throws it to the wrong guy. It's picked off by Colin Slagle, so the Raiders' defense is tough. Meanwhile, a few plays later, the Raiders with the ball around the 40, and Jaquan Walker does the rest. J-Dub, if you will, is going to run hard. He's going to run all the way down to the 5-yard line. A pretty nice gain of 55 yards in a play later in the red zone. As Lawing keeps it himself, takes it into the house. Raiders up 28-14 at this point, and the Appomattox Raiders, they double up Radford, the Bobcats, in the playoffs there, 56-28. Meanwhile, let's go over to Highlander Heaven. Top-seeded Glenver taking on the Martinsville Bulldogs. A rematch of the regular season won by Glenver. It was 3-0 Glenver, and then Aiden Wolk, the quarterback, is going to go to the air, and he's going to hook up to a former Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week. That is Dagan Williams with a 22-yard score. Glenver up 10-zip. Then the first play of the second quarter, the combination so cool. Let's do it again. Wolk to Williams, got it in stride. 44 yards. Glenver is up 17-0, and then more Glenver. Wolk is so good with his arm, but he's cool with his legs. Takes it in. That's a touchdown. Glenver goes up 24-0, and they shut out Martinsville tonight, 38-0. The Highlanders will host Appomattox for the regional title coming up next week. Well, we move on to the Region 40 semifinals. The defending Class 4 champs and the top-seeded Salem Spartans hosting the 5th-seeded Louisa County Lions at Salem Stadium. Now, the last time these two teams met was for the title in the 2017 Class 4. Salem won that one 43-22. The Spartans running out on a cold night at Salem Stadium. Salem, with their first offensive possession, will do it right. How about Cam Leftwich? He's a former Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week. 87 yards, showing that he can do it and do it well. Touchdown, Salem's up 7-zip. The Spartans, they can run it, but they can also do it again. How about Chauncey Logan? He's going to have some stretchy arms. Got it in stride from Deron Wilson. 37 yards, Salem up 14-0. We're not even halfway through the first. Louisa County, Landon Wilson, he's in trouble. He's going to throw to a guy by the name of Chase Greer out of the picture. He came out of nowhere like a slingshot, making moves, and the defense for Salem is tough. We go to the second quarter. How about Salem Wilson, the quarterback? He's going to hook up with guess who? It's Cam Leftwich. Another touchdown. There he is, 6 yards out. It's 21-0 Salem. Cam Leftwich is not done the offense for Salem. Look at him running hard. Louisa County didn't want any part of Cam Leftwich. 38 yards, 20-0 Salem. We go still in the second quarter. It's 28-7 Salem, and Wilson again going back to here, hooking up with guess who? How about Chauncey Logan Jr.? So cool, you got 3 names playing like a senior. 16-yard score. Salem at 35-7 at the break. Salem rolls to a 55-7 win over Louisa County. Now, if you would like to see the Louisa County Salem game, we have it for you with the Student Playback High School Game of the Week on WWCW Saturday at noon. Dave Ross and Steve Myers will be on the call. The game is produced by Franklin County High School students. Meanwhile, let's go down to Danville. George Washington hosting Western Albemarle in the other Region 4D semifinal. The first play from scrimmage, Western Albemarle testing GW, but this would be a problem. The ball gets stripped away to Eagles. Kamari Gibson does a scoop and score. There he is, taking it to the house. 65 yards, GW like that. It's up 6-0, and the Eagle cheerleaders would love what they saw. Western Albemarle again trying to get it going, but the very next play, guess what happens? Another turnover. Joe Birch loses it, and Daniel recovers. Bad moon rising for the visitors in Crozet. Yeah, good teams make you pay for those turnovers. And case in point, how about a dance and dash for Jacoby Dixon? Making moves and cuts, he plows his way into the touchdown. The Eagles are scoring at will. They're up 13-0, and the GW student section liking what they see as well. I promise we'll see. Yeah, they loved it. Yeah, they got the title belt, SmackDown style. How about this? We're going to have more things. How about this 14-yard toss from Barnes and to Gibson, gets it in there. Kamari Gibson. And the Eagles, they rolled tonight, got a big one tonight, 40-8. The final over GW. So it'll be GW taking on Salem. That game will take place next week in Salem. Coming up on Friday Night Blitz, we're going to go to the Class 3 wakes. A lot of big games in Region 3C and 3D. Stick and stay, please.
Now, back to Friday Night Blitz, a Wfxr sports production.
And welcome back, everybody, to Friday Night Blitz. We come to the Class 3 part of the show with the focus being on the Region 3 semifinals. The top seed in the region, the Liberty Christian Bulldogs, have been dominant this season. They host Broadway. Now, LCA, they are perfect 10-0 on the season. So let's go out to Williams Stadium and let's get the party started in the first quarter. How about Gideon Davidson sneaking in for the first score of the night? LCA up 6-0. And they'll do it again in the end zone, but this time it's Gideon's brother, Caleb Davidson, scores. Liberty Christian up 13-0. Let's go to the second quarter. Liberty Christian up 20-0. Gideon Davidson takes the rock, and he knows what to do with it. How about Davidson? 75 yards to the house. The brother-on-brother connection hooking up there. LCA up 27-0, and they go on to shut out Broadway tonight, getting that win tonight, 48-0. Over at City Stadium in Lynchburg, the second-seeded Heritage Pioneers hosting the third seed in the Brookville Beach. Heritage beat Brookville at Stinger Stadium in overtime. Bees looking for some payback. How about the Bees up 16-7? Drake McDaniel to Stephen Preston for the touchdown. Brookville up 22-7. Next possession, Brookville's Drake McDaniel again. He's going to take it himself. Running hard, young fella. You got one. And he's going to be taken down right around the 5-yard line. Next play, though, McDaniel, he's going to take the handoff and hand it off to his good buddy, one of his friends, Tayshawn Butler, scores inside. The Bees up 30-7. The Pioneers trying to get back on the board at the half, and Cameron Burns, the quarterback for Heritage, he's got the ball. He's going to look for somewhere. He's going to go to the end zone. Problem is he throws it to the wrong guy. Picked up by Nicholas Adcock to end the half. Brookville, they win this one 50-21. So the Bees will play at LCA for the regional title. That will be next week. Meanwhile, Region 3D is just as tough as the top seed as Region 3C. Christiansburg hosting Lord Botetourt, the Cavaliers, the 5th seed. LBA getting into playoff form. They're on a 6-game winning streak, and they beat Christiansburg in the playoffs in the springtime. Christiansburg have one of their best seasons in years. They're 10-1 on the year. So let's go to the first quarter's game. Was tied at 7, and Christiansburg fans were fired up for this one. How about this on the other side of the 50? Casey Graham, sweet move, takes it to the house, young fella. You got it. That's a touchdown. Christiansburg up 14-7. In the second quarter, Jakari nicely for Lord Botetourt goes to the air. He's going to get the bomb to Joey Isaacs. Catches it in the end zone. We're tied at 14. In a crazy finish, LB, they get the win, holding off Christiansburg 28-27. So Lord Botetourt will advance to the regional final. Who will they play? It's going to be Bassett, the 3 seed, or Abingdon, the 2 seed. The only other time these teams met was 1958. It was 21-13 Falcons. Haynes Carter takes the handoff around the left side for the Falcons, and they're going to soar their way down the sideline 41 yards. And Abington goes up 28-13, but the Bengals would try to cut that lead by Jacarius Harrison. Calls his own number, plows his way in for 4 yards out. The 2-point conversion was no good. So it was 28-19 Abington, but the Falcons would have an answer themselves, and it's Malik Houndshell. Malik Houndshell takes the handoff. He's going to run hard. He's going to take off. That's a 17-yard score. Abington up 35-19 in the fourth, and Abington, they upset Bassett tonight, or Abington beat Bassett 42-34. So it'll be Lord Bottop visiting Abington for the regional title coming up next week. Coming up on Friday Night Blitz, we have our latest installment from Ryan Moy. It's Player of the Week time. Stick and stay, please.
This is the Friday Night Blitz Play of the Week.
Our Friday Night Blitz Play of the Week, we go back to Salem Stadium. It's Cam Leftwich's world. We're just living in it. Look at him. Their first offensive play of the game, it's 87 yards for Cam Leftwich. In the first half, he scored 3 touchdowns, 3 or 4 Salem touchdowns. Salem is rolling as they get ready. They will be in a regional final hosting George Washington. That'll be next week. So Cam Leftwich, you can celebrate tonight with the win and our Wfxr Friday Night Blitz. Let's watch it one more time. It's so cool. It's so nice. Let's see it twice. Cam Leftwich, son, you got it. You are the Wfxr Friday Night Blitz Play of the Week.
This is the Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week, sponsored by Tater Benson of MKB Realtors.
Folks, it's time for our latest Player of the Week honor, and here's Ryan Moy with the 411.
Well, this week's athlete not only got the job done on defense with an interception, he also threw for 5 touchdowns as well in his team's win against Floyd County in the Class II regional quarterfinals. And he's your Player of the Week.
Landon Clark, quarterback, Radford High School. Just all week we were, preparing for Floyd and stuff. We knew we beat him in the regular season, but it's hard to beat a team twice, especially in the playoffs. A lot of things change, but Marcel was quarterback earlier in the season and stuff, so Marcel decided, hey, I'm going to be wide receiver, Landon, you go quarterback if that's all right. I was like, yeah, that's all right. And it opens it up. The line was blocking good. The team played really well, and it was all around good game, and we executed well and came out with the W. This year has been up and down. I was out for half the season with a foot injury, and I was deciding on whether or not to play. And at first I was like, I'm not gonna play, and then coming out here and watching it, I was like, man, I have to play. I can't miss this. And it's, with my team's help, they helped me make that decision, and I'm glad I made this decision. I like it a lot, especially with the guys around me. It helps.
So why number 7?
Obviously, y'all know PJ Prelo. He was here last year. Obviously, he's a freak of an athlete, and I love to watch him play football. And after the season last year, I was like, hey man, you wouldn't mind if I take your number? And he was like, nah, it's all right. He's a big role model. He's a good person to look up to.
What does your family mean to you?
It means a lot to have their support. They sacrifice a lot. I know the team has my back, and it's really special. My family has my back too. If something's going on, I can talk to them, talk to my team. It helps a lot. This team we always stick up for one another, If one falls down, we pick them up. We're all about team, It's never, team success is the best success.
And congratulations again to Landon Clark on the Player of the Week honor. Meanwhile, college football action, Washington League Generals back in the Division III NCAA football tournament. Generals have a tall task. They visit perennial power in Mount Union. WNL head coach Garrett LaRose says they are ready for the challenge of playing Mount Union.
It's just that's a challenge. You can't hide from it. It's there. So I think if we just try to look the other way and be, hey, this is another college football game, just line up. They got 11 guys. We got 11 guys. But there is still part of that truth. We're going to go play this team.
Now the Generals in Mountain Union, they hook up tomorrow at noon. And here are the other college state games coming your way Saturday. VMI hosting Western Carolina at 12:30 again. The game's at 12:30 at Foster Stadium. The reason why the game got moved up an hour is due to daylight savings time and try to beat the darkness. So again, that's going to be a 12:30 game, Western Carolina VMI. At 3:30, Virginia visiting Pitt. If UVA can win this game and their game at home against Virginia Tech next week, they will win the ACC Coastal Division and a spot in the ACC title game. A Pitt win, and they will win the Coastal. Liberty hosting Louisiana at 4 o'clock at Williams Stadium. Then Virginia Tech will be at the Miami Hurricanes at 7:30 in the debut of J.C. Price as Tech's head coach. We have 3 local volleyball teams playing for a state title at the Salem Civic Center on Saturday. The Rustburg Red Devils will be taking on Tab in the VHSL Class 3 final at 4:30. The Red Devils looking to repeat and bring home their 2nd straight state title. The team is coming off a 5-set thriller over Hidden Valley to win the semifinal. The Glenver Highlanders will be taking on Central Woodstock in the VHSL Class 2 final at 2:15. The Highlanders are back in a title match for the first time since 2006. They also won it back in 2006. Glenver has been playing with consistency and winning big matches.
It feels great. I mean, I'm really proud of the girls. They battled once again. This is the 4th time we had to play Floyd. Unbelievably experienced team. To be able to come back after beating them in a really, really close, unbelievable match in their gym in the regional final. And we had a tough task in our hands tonight. And, especially after dropping that 2nd set and coming out and not playing great ball, just unbelievably proud of them that they dug down and found a way to pull out that 3rd and 4th set. And they played their best ball of the year in the 3rd and 4th set in the state semifinals. It's exciting to see as a coach.
So Glenver going for that title tomorrow, 2:15 in Salem. And finally, 73 and counting. That's the win streak for the Auburn Eagles. They'll be going for their 2nd three-peat tomorrow in the Class 1 finals at noon. The Salem Civic Center against Riverheads. Auburn is on a run of historic proportions, and if they're making it 74 in a row, they will have their 2nd three-peat. Highlights and post-game reaction coming your way Saturday on Wfxr. Well, guess what, folks? Does it again for an awesome edition of Friday Night Blitz. Now, to see all the action, you can check it out on WFXRTV.com. Download WFXR News App. Next week is the regional finals for David de Guzman, Ryan Moore, and the entire WFXR crew. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. Hope all of your teams are winners. Have a wonderful and blessed night and weekend, everybody.